Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. We are back after a couple of weeks of a break. Nothing has really been put on hold here, but we did walk away from Not a Real Farm for a couple of days just to have some R&R down by the lake. So we are back, and as you can see, there's a lot of things that are going on in here now. Everything is beginning to turn to seed. The last few nights have been absolutely ridiculously cold, and so my vegetables and my plants are beginning to react to the change of season. So we are in harvest mode here, seed mode mostly. I'm starting to get nice little blackberries happening. So all of those are ripening. And then we also have a fair amount of tomatoes finally turning red. So let's walk through here and I'll show you. You can see the size of the tomatoes now. The size of the tomatoes are amazing. So now we're just waiting for them to ripen up. These are my delicious tomatoes. I think I was talking to you about them a while ago. They seem to be doing really well. My Sartre Rollo-S tomatoes, so they're going to start having purple shoulders and then the bottoms are going to turn yellow. And these are my Italian paste tomatoes. So my Italian pastes are doing really well. They're just starting to put on some weight here. So we'll be able to use those soon as well. And the peppers are going good too. The peppers were really slow this year. I don't know how your gardens have been, but mine has been really slow to produce peppers this year. But now I finally got a bunch of blossoms. So you can see here, I'm just starting to get peppers. There is actually a couple here. So we're a little bit behind this year. These are called elephant ear peppers, so they'll get, if I turn them this way, you can see. We're just starting to really get these peppers. They took quite a long time, so we'll see how they turn out. This is what the Sartre Rollo-S look like when they start to ripen. So it gives you sort of almost a purpley red shoulder, and then you've got a yellow tomato. So we tested them out the other day. They're really good as a sandwich tomato. We really like them. They'd really be good in salsa too because they have a little bit of a zing to them. Check it out. Nice red tomatoes in there. Let's take a look here. Sometimes we have tomato sandwiches in the morning for breakfast. Take a look. Not bad. So these are just your regular everyday slicers, but these are really good on toast too. Lots and lots of tomatoes. These here, now that I have them inside the greenhouse this year, these are my black strawberry tomatoes. So you can see here they've got really dark sort of striping on them, and then they turn out to be this cool sort of pink tomato with black stripes. Tasty too. And then we've got more and more and more tomatoes. Check this out. So I have to come through here today and do some picking. We've got tons of cherry tomatoes that are happening as well. I also have to go through and pick garlic seed. So I'll show you that. I'll show you how far along the garlic seed has come. But you can see here, we've been sitting here eating our sweetie tomatoes. Guys, these are like eating candy, so they never really make it into the house. But more and more and more tomatoes. Starting to put on a nice size. So things are really starting to take off in here. And I got a feeling this year I'm really going to be busy trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with these tomatoes. Here's our cucumbers. Just starting. We've been eating nothing but cucumbers. Check this out. It's almost like finding a treasure underneath all these leaves. Lots of cucumbers. Let me swing you outside and you can take a look at what's going on out there. Okay, so you guys can see here, we are at my Cherokee Trail of Tears beans. So we're already sort of in seed mode here. You can tell by just how wide and thick some of the beans are in the pod. The pod is now sort of soft. So these are no longer in the mode where you can take them and eat them as a green bean. I guess you could, but they wouldn't taste the same. We're back to seed mode. See how purple they are? Once they get this purple, they're drying down into your seed. So we're going to leave those. As you can see here, everything has started to go into shock outside. So I've left a lot of my bean seed alone this year. We're going to just be saving the seed off of these. It's been a really strange summer for weather. In one sense, we had some really good warm days, and then in other senses, this has actually been one of the coldest summers I've ever experienced. The peppers outside are doing fine, so we're just starting to put on some peppers there. We've got dill happening. And then over behind here, we have a small little purple paste that we're growing out. We'll be saving the seed from those as well, and we'll be sending some of the seed back to one of the companies that wanted us to do sort of a grow out of this little plant for them, so we'll be sending that back. But you can see, compared to last year, the changes. It almost looks like fall right now, doesn't it, out in my garden? So, let me go here. I'm starting to get, go down here, cauliflower. This one here is another cauliflower. Look out, bee! There is a bee in my way. The cauliflower's even taking a hit. Check this out. So the weather changes that we're experiencing right now, because the weather has gone cold all of a sudden, has really taken a toll on my vegetables. Oops. Got some black tomatoes here. Actually, they're kind of cool because they're sort of, I say black, but they're not. If you look really close, they're more like a purple tomato. You can see all that purple striations. So they're actually pretty neat. And then I've been here. Now I've been digging up the potato bed here because I'm going to shut this down early this year. These potatoes on this side of the bed, for whatever reason, did not do as good as they did last year. But they're making really great hash browns. So we've got some brand new, tiny little tomatoes. I got tomatoes on the brain. Potatoes that we've been using for, like, for example, tonight, we're having bacon and potato soup. So I've been using all of the new potatoes out of the garden. This one is my Nona Agnes Blue Bean. So Nona is doing good. She's going into seed mode here. Remember, I was telling you that these are the seeds. These bean seeds tend to go a bright blue when the weather is chilly. So we should have an interesting hue of blue on these seeds once they dry this year. So we'll see. But she's given me lots of beans. Even the deer haven't really picked at stuff this year, which is really unusual. Let's swing around. In this bed, we have my calendula. So you can see here the calendula seed has begun to dry down. So see here the leaves are dying off, but here calendula seed just basically falls off. And if you don't take it out of here, it will just, see, I just dropped some. So it will continuously resow itself. That's how easy calendula is. So if you are growing it, just beware. It really takes off in a garden. That's why I put it in a raised bed. So besides all the weeds, you can see here that my garlic seed is almost ready to pick. I'm just waiting for the skins to dry down on most of them. In this bed anyways. And once that happens, then what we'll be able to do is we will be able to start brand new garlic for the fall. Let's go take a look at the back 40. Okay, so here we are back on the red walking onions. So these, let's see. I'm going to snip the top of these and take them off because they are ready. You can see here they've got dry skin over them now. And they're ready to get out of this rain. As a matter of fact, I could probably pick those today. We got to wait for a nice dry day when it's not raining. And we're going to take these off and we're going to dry them out. And then we'll probably put some up on the store. Yeah, they are definitely ready to go. Let's see. There we go. That's how easy that is. Just like that. So they are ready to go. So I'll be collecting some of those later after the video. Taking a look at our northern seed garlic. So almost ready. Not quite there yet. A couple of them are, but not quite all of them. You can see here, these ones are bigger. So I'm not going to pick on a day that it's sort of raining and wet outside, but we will have lots and lots of garlic seeds. So check this out. There we go. It's going to be a good year for garlic, that's for sure. Wow. Oh, check that out. What do you think of that? We got a few little anomalies at the top, but that's pretty good. Good, 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 good. What else do we got? Let's see. Aha. We always have one that runs away, right? Let's see what this one's like. Yeah. So we've got carrots that are sort of all over the place, but nonetheless really good to snack on. Awesome. And now, of course, with my strawberry bed, we've had our first strawberries in the spring, sort of early summer. Now you can see they're starting to reblossom, so I will get a secondary crop of strawberries. This is early, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get that secondary crop before the frost comes this year. But see, it's starting to develop the strawberries, no problem. I see a few little odd strawberries here and there, but we are getting a secondary blooming period, so this is good. Strawberries before winter. Awesome. I think we've got some decent onions in here too. Let's see. Look at that. I gotta let these dry out a little bit, but not too bad. That's a nice size onion to use for dinner. What do you think? Pretty good. I've got about 3 or 4 of them down there, so we'll be using those up right away. We are back in the greenhouse. Take a look at the blackberries that are starting to form. Isn't that wonderful? So guys, I planted these blackberries, not really sure, because of their Primarks. Not really sure if they were going to give me anything, but so far so good. We've even got some that are blossoming way up here. You can see that, they're starting to form. I've kept my greenhouse door shut this year to keep some of the bad bugs out. So these are sort of doing their own thing. Nothing's really been in here this year, sort of pollinating. But boy, are they really growing. Last year, they didn't give me anything. The year before, I just planted them. So all in all, it took at least almost 2.5 years to actually get something from them. And now they're producing like crazy. So this is great. Look at this side. And remember, they're not really for our climate, so they're doing really well in a greenhouse. And this down here, all these little, I guess what you'd say look like almost like berries, are just a currant tomato. So they don't get any bigger than a blueberry. And they're just so tasty. Just a little treat to walk around the greenhouse and snack on. Okay guys, well that about wraps it up for me today. You can see here that it looks like the fall is already starting, and my plants are telling me in my greenhouse that it's going to be time now to keep collecting that seed and putting it away for next year. You can see even my trees are starting to lose their leaves with the change in temperature. But all in all, we have had a successful year. We will be saving our seed and putting it away. And now I got to get back to watering and picking all those nice ripe tomatoes that you saw over there. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. If you have any questions, pop them below. Feel free to send me an email at notarealfarm@yahoo.com or visit us at our Etsy store at notarealfarm.etsy.com. See you soon.